I want to run through the C scale on the 5th and 8th strings again. And we'll start it here at the first fret. E's lowered. Let off the E lever and put the A pedal down. And move up to the 3rd fret. And then add the F lever and the A. Here at the 4th fret. Same thing at the 6th. 8th fret with the A lever. 10th fret. So that's the whole scale. And of course the 2 frets up with the E lever is the same notes. So knowing that, you can play the same scale just using the E lever instead of the F. So let's start here. One with the E. That's 6 with the E lever. 8, 8A, 10A, and then 13E. Same scale. Of course, whatever you play on 5 and 8, you can play on 4 and 5. Let's go over the C7th scale on the same strings, and there's just 3 different places from the normal scale. Here's the first 4 notes are the same. This is the same. That's the E's lowered. That's the 2nd note, and that's the same with the A pedal. That's A and F at 4. That's the same. Now when we go to 6, we're going to let off the F lever. 8A. Here's 2 new positions, 9A and F, 11A and F, and that wants to go to a 4 chord or an F chord. So it could go there. Same thing up here. I wanted to point out that the G7 scale, which the G scale, the same G scale would be played here. And the G7 scale would be so if you notice, those same notes are is an octave higher of this the first parts of the C scale that we played. So we have a G7 scale right in the C scale, and it's really useful. And almost all the notes, if you play almost all the notes of the C scale, will work for G7. So you can play higher ones. And so we're going to use that for accompanying Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. I wanted to mention that the 5 and 8 scale is really useful for finding melodies, finding solos, and finding nice fills. And you need to play around with that scale and try to find some melodies. Try to make it not sound like a scale. So here's the scale. But you can do just by changing it a little, it can sound like a pretty melody. mistakes there, but you can hear all we're doing is playing those things, but we're just mixing up the where you stop and where and the direction you're going. So you can see that there's some nice things to play with there. I want to show some ways to go from a 1 to a 1 chord, walking up or walking down, or moving between the same chord. We're just moving between inversions. And here we are, say at the 3rd fret pedals down, C chord. If you wanted to move up to the C here, at 8, open. At this is the A pedal down. Go to the 4 A and F, 6 A and F. So that's here's a way to get from the C open to the C at 11 A and F. Just add the A pedal. Go to the 10th fret. From the 11 A and F to go to the pedals down at 15, it's so that's A and F, 11 A and F, 11A, or 13A, 14A, 15A. And you can do the same things on 3 and 5 as you did on 5 and 8. I mean 4 and 5, not 3 and 5. And for example, that's the E's lowered here at 1. That's basically the same as this. But we can't go below the 1st fret, so we can't get to that 11th fret or the 0 fret, so we lower the E. Here's the going to the open position, up to the 11 A and F. So you keep going, and those are useful to know if you want to move up and down the neck, especially within the same chord. You can also obviously move to a different chord, but we don't have time to cover that today. We did it a little bit on the 3 and 5 scale before.